83, towards the end of 82 and just started 83. So Caliban makes a reappearance or a representation of his request once again, that he should Stefano should put an end to Prospero, and Caliban will become his servant and hand over the entire island to Stefano's care. So Stefano agrees to it, and he says, provided that you must make a scene or situation where I can meet him. So he says, I shall yield him to you while he is sleeping. Stefano, how now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party? Yeah, my lord, I will yield him thee asleep, where thou mayest knock a nail into his bead. So knocking a nail is to striking a nail. You strike something or blow something this forcefully. You want to nail on the wall. You take something and strike it. So like that, where you may knock a nail in this bead. I think it is a spelling mistake. Should be his head, maybe. Most probably it must be head. Doesn't matter. I will check it up to afterwards. I'll tell you. Anyway, Ariel, thou liest, thou canst not. Canst not means cannot. Thou liest. Thou means you. You liest. You cannot. You cannot strike a nail to his head. That's it. Ariel is saying. Caliban, what a pied ninny is this? Thou scurvy patch, I do beseech thy greatness. Give him blows and take his bottle from him. When that is gone, he shall drink not but brine, for I will not show him where the quick freshes are. So now Caliban thinks that it is Tringulo who spoke, thou liest, thou cannot do it. So he's very wild. So Caliban says, what a pied ninny is this? Ninny is fool. What a fool. Thou scurvy patch, a rotten fool. Not an ordinary fool, a rotten fool. I do beseech, beseech means see. I do see thy greatness. So the first part, up to that hyphen is said about Tringulo. What a pied ninny is this? Thou scurvy patch, a fool. Not an ordinary fool, a rotten fool he is. Then he is addressing to Stefano and saying, I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows and take this bottle from him. When that is gone, he shall drink not but brine, for I will not show him where the quick freshes are. So, fresh water is available only in one particular place. So only particular springs are fine water, fresh water springs are there on the island, but only Caliban knows. You remember earlier, Caliban, it was Caliban who showed or introduced the freshwater springs to Prospero. But later Prospero misused it. He abducted everything from him and he lost it. Now, only Caliban knows where the freshwater springs are there. So Caliban says, you take away the bottle from him. He is able to speak like this against you and me. It's because he has drank too much. So take it away. Then he will be normal. And then he will bring brine water. That is salt water. Everywhere salt water is available plenty because the sea is there. So only salt water he shall drink, because I shall not reveal where the freshwater springs are. He shall drink not my but brine, for I will not show him where the quick freshers are. Quick freshers are drinking water streams. Stefano, Tringulo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I will turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee. Stockfish is dried fish, dried and salted cod. I don't know whether some of you are maybe non-vegetarians, those who eat fish. Whether you have eaten dried fish, I do not know. In North India, I think I don't see. But in South India, dried fishes are very common just because they are close to sea. They are very close to sea. And all the fish that they catch in the sea cannot be used immediately. There's so much of abundance of fish comes. What they do, they dry the fish. First, they remove what is inside the fish, they clean it up, and afterwards apply plenty of salt to it, and they preserve it, dry it and preserve it. So I can use it anytime. Can be used even for months together. So dry fish is a delicacy in South India. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and in Bengal, Calcutta and that area. Because there also they have got plenty of sea. So Stefano says, Tringulo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I will turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee, stockfish of you. Enough. You're not obeying me. I commanded you so many times not to interrupt my subject. If you say one more word with this hand, I will just smash you off. So I will just finish you off. By this hand, I will turn my mercy out of doors. Turn my mercy out of my doors means take mercy away. I will be very cruel, very unkind to you. I will knock you off. And what will I do? I will turn you into a dry fish. Tringulo. Why? What did I? I did nothing. I will go further off. So Tringulo is in a very bad situation. He is not able to understand. He says nothing, and all the blame is coming to him. He says, what did I do? What did I say? Nothing. Best thing is I will go away from you. You both of you be there. I will be little away from you so that I'm not in trouble. Stefano, didn't thou not say he lied? Didn't thou means, did you not say that he lied? He here means Caliban. Didn't you say that Caliban lied? Ariel, thou liest. So Ariel is very prompt. So immediately he catches up and he says, thou liest. Now this thou liest is addressed to or said about Stefano himself. So did you not say that Caliban lied when he said, thou liest? Stefano, do I so? Do I also lied? Take thou that, strikes Tringulo. As you like this, give me the lie another time. So Stefano was at the end of his patience. He lost his patience. So he gave him nice one to Tringulo and said, take this. How do you like it? You like this one? Give me the lie another time. Say once more. If you say lie once more, finish. You'll get much more. Tringulo, I did not give the lie out on your wits and hearing too. A plague on your bottle. This can sack and drinking do. A murrain on your monster. and the devil take your fingers. So now Ariel is putting everybody to trouble. Everybody. So Tringulo says, I did not give the lie. I did not say a lie at all. It's not I who said it. Then it's given in between the hyphens. Out on your wits and hearing too. Out on your wits means you have lost your wits. You are supposed to be very humorous. He is known for his humor. Both together they make very good jokes, good humor. They cut plenty of jokes. So now you have lost your wit and you lost your hearing ability too. You don't seem to be hearing properly. You hear what I don't say. A plague on your bottle. This can second drinking do. A plague on your bottle. A curse on your bottle. This can means this is what sack and bringing do. If you are Sakis, you know, Sakis that case. So this drinking so much of wine that can do a lot of harm, you know. That's why you're not able to hear properly. You're not, you have gone out of your wits. A murrain on your monster, a curse on your monster. That is Caliban, and the devil take your fingers. A murrain on your monster, and the devil take your fingers. Caliban, ha 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 ha. So Caliban laughs. Stefano, now forward with your tail to Tringulo. Priti stand further off. So Caliban laughs, and Stefano thinks this is Tringulo who laughed. So Stefano says, now forward with your tail. That is to Caliban. Forward means go ahead. Go ahead with your tail, please. And he tells to Tringulo, I pray you stand further off. He's little polite because already he has beaten him. So he says, stand off. Better is stand off. Otherwise, you are going to get again. Caliban, beat him enough. After a little time, I will beat him too. So Caliban is extremely happy. So he says, no, 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 not sufficient. Beat him more. Give him some more. And after some time, I will take my turn and I will beat him up. Stefano, stand further, come proceed. So he tells stand further again to Tringulo, stand further, you stand away. Then he tells Caliban, come, proceed, please go ahead. Caliban, why? As I told thee, it's a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep, there thou mayest brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or pounce him with a stake, or cut his vest with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he is but a sort as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command, they all do hate him, as rootedly as I, burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house, he will deck withal, and that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls for a nonpareil. I never saw a woman, but only Sycorax, my dam, and but she as far surpasseth Sycorax, as greatest does later. Greatest does least. So that is what the most important thing is this: destroy his books. You must destroy Prospero's books. That is the thing. So how you are going to kill him is up to you. Up to you. Because he thinks that Stefano is so powerful and he is capable of doing so much. So it's up to him to decide how to kill Prospero. So he gives a number of options. Like you have various options for your answers. You are given 3 options or 4 options. You can choose one. So like that, he gives a number of options to Stefano, the means of killing Prospero. But he should make sure one thing, that is destroy Prospero's books, because it is the books which makes him powerful, the magical books, or the books which help him to practice magic. That should be destroyed. That is very clear. Why? As I told thee, it's a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. So he has got very, as I already told you, Prospero has got a time schedule. Everything is planned. His day is planned so well. That's why you remember earlier Miranda was saying, at this time he'll be busy with study. At this time he'll be free. So I will go inside. This time he is busy, so we can talk to each other. She tells Ferdinand. So, like that, Caliban also knows the timings of Prospero. When Prospero does what? So he says it is customary. It's a practice for him to sleep in the afternoon. Some people have that custom of sleeping in the afternoon for some time. So he will sleep. That time he can attack him. There thou mayest brain him. Brain means knock out his brains. Thou mayest brain him, knock out his brains. That is one method. Having first seized his books, first to take care of the books. Seize means take it by force. Seize is SEIZED, seized, seize. Having seized, that means to seize. To seize means to take forcefully. Or with a log batter his skull. So either he can knock out his brains, or he can batter his skull, or punch him with a stake. That is a rip off his belly. Rip up means rip open. Open up. You take a stick and open up his belly and kill him. Or cut his basant with thy knife. Basant is windpipe. So some people they kill like this. Just a slash, finish. A slicing movement. Your windpipe is cut. You cannot breathe. You're out. For without them, remember first to possess his books, for without them he is but a sot. A sot is a drunkard. A drunkard. A sot, as I am. I am a drunkard now. Caliban says, I have drank plenty. So, without the book, he is also like a drunkard like me. That is, he is helpless. Nor hath not one spirit to command. Then he will have no spirit to command. Without books, he cannot command. So, he will become helpless. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Everybody hates him. Everybody hates Prospero, just like me hating Prospero. Burn but his books. Keeps on repeating that. Burn his books. That's important. He has brave utensils. Now, again, he is speaking, he is mixing up different things. He has brave utensils. Utensils are fine implements. Implements are weapons. Maybe something like a knife and other things, maybe. Fine implements. He has brave utensils, for he calls them, so he calls them means he calls them as utensils. He calls them as weapons. Which, when he has a house, he will deck withal. He will decorate his new house with these implements. That's what he says. And that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a non-pereil. Most important thing is the damsel, the great, the beautiful daughter of his, that he must take note of. He himself calls her non-pereil. Non-pereil is without comparison, matchless. M-A-T-C-H-L-E-S. Matchless is without comparison. There is nobody else to compare with. Miranda is so beautiful. She cannot be compared with anybody else. Such beautiful she is. So, he himself has said this. For so he called, I never saw a woman, but only Sycorax, my dam. My dam is my mother, and she. But she as far surpasses. Surpasses means she is the supreme. She is the supreme. Never saw a woman, but only Sycorax, my dam, and she. But she as far surpasseth Sycorax, as greatest does least. She is so surpassing. That means the beauty of Miranda far exceeds that of Sycorax. I have seen only two women. One is my mother and another one is Miranda. But the beauty of Miranda far exceeds that of Sycorax. How he makes a comparison? Like the greatest does least. One side is the least, the last one. And another side, the greatest. Miranda is the greatest, Sycorax is the least. So this is a description or the plan Caliban is proposing to Stefano, that Prospero will be sleeping, and Stefano has so many choices. He gives almost 4 to 5 choices. He chooses any one of them to put an end to his life, but make sure that his books are being snatched and destroyed. It is the powerhouse of Prospero. Without a book, he will be like a drunkard, like me, helpless. And he cannot command to anybody. And everybody hates him. And above all this, he should always remember that Miranda is there, the most beautiful woman. You are going to take possession of her and marry her, and you'll become the king. Okay?